Hello, my name is Dow Codes. Welcome to my modern AI development series. Today we're going to be going over MCP at a high level, and further videos will dive into developing them, using them, etc. But MCP servers have kind of been the biggest thing as of late because it is enabling AI to have tools. But what is MCP? Why was it? So, Model Context Protocol is purely a standard for an API. What this means is before, if an AI wanted to consume an API, it had to understand the structure of the API. It had to know what the API was giving it. Right? And Open API and other specs can give you like Swagger documents and what that can be consumed as JSON. But for MCP servers, this is basically a standardized way that an AI can be trained to more quickly hook into what tools it has, what prompts it has, what resources that API exposes to it. So this is a great analogy that I think has been helping me, that MCP is just USB-C for so a universal standard that allows AI applications to connect to any data source or tool through a single standardized interface. And this has been developed by Anthropic and put forth, and they are evolving the spec as we speak. But just as USB-C replaced the chaos of multiple proprietary connectors, MCP tries to replace the need for custom integrations between AI models and external systems by building a single tool that will allow any MCP compatible client to connect to it using AI. And there's a couple things that are core to the MCP. First is resources. This is just read-only content that the AI can request, right? So this could be files, this could be static strings, this could be database records, right? Read-only things. Prompts are pre-built prompt templates and workflows, so the MCP can give the AI client some, hey, this is how you might interact with me, or here's a reusable set of instructions to be able to accomplish this task that I can then call. And finally, the biggest one is actually tools. This is functions that the AI can execute. So whether it's database queries, API calls, file operations, or just computations, the MCP server, and when we look at custom development, these are actual methods, right? This is where you can connect the fuzzy dynamicness and probabilistic nature of AI towards a hard-coded function with logic and those kind of things. We're going to skip past the architectures just for a second and talk about some of the use cases. So before MCP servers, things like RAG were kind of the first initial way of how do I give my AI grounding information? But this was very specific architecture styles of the AI. What an MCP allows you to do is have longer term tools being built integrated with AI. This is database access, this is API integration, file systems, these are browser interactions. Some of the most popular MCPs are things that enable developers. So things like Playwright, right? You have Playwright MCP, you can really quickly have your full stack development have more parts automated. So it's not just, hey, I spit out all this front end code. It's go and test it, go and look at the and go through them. Database access could be a really big one. The more data that the AI has access to and knows how to comb through, the better it's going to be. So if you look here, the MCP sits in the middle between, on the left side, AI applications, MCP clients, and the data sources. So in this case, these ones, Claude Code, Goose, or VS Code, which is a classic one, that is kind of the most basic way to interact with an MCP. Because on one side, you have the IDE, and the developer is prompting to say, hey, I want to do this, I want to do this. But on the far side, things like GitHub, things like ADO are sitting on the other side with data and information that might be helpful for the AI of, oh, this ticket actually has some resources. But there's other ones that I think are going to become more useful in the future, things like Power Platform or automated agents that are on this side of they are an AI application, but they need access to all these data sources. And so MCP could be helpful for developer, things like Context 7, things like sequential planning when that was kind of less baked into the models. But as you go further, MCP also enables enterprise applications to interact with that whole data warehouse and that whole data lake and or specific files or specific APIs. Um, but I want to go back up here to some of the benefits. So one of the ones is separation concerns. So before things like RAG, the data sources are kind of directly tied to the AI model. MCP servers become part of your development cycle if you're growing in specific lineage, or you can add an MCP server directly onto it. You can expose specific tools, and we'll get into custom models as we go along. But I just wanted to give a high level thing and why MCP servers are so highly touted right now, because they are the Stone Age for AI. Happy coding.